Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this update on my 40-day water fast. And this is my ninth day today that ends tonight at 10 p.m. I must say the salt I added to my water helped. Let me go back on that because yesterday I made a stream that was 11 minutes and 20 seconds long, and it still shows up as 11 minutes, 20 seconds long in my studio. But on the channel, it's 1 minute, 44 seconds. And that much of my video is cut off. So after tonight's scripture, I'm going to recap some of what I did yesterday, and I'll keep today's update a little shorter, hopefully. Um, Today's scripture comes from Psalm 69:10. When I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that became my reproach. And I know what he's talking about here because fasting is not easy. I will say, however, today is probably the easiest day I have had. And I attribute that to adding the salt. Even though I started adding salt yesterday to my diet, to my water, um, I was feeling pretty bad at it, when I did the live stream last night. But one of the things that I did here over the last couple of days is watch some videos by a guy named Dorian Wilson. He has some excellent information on water fasting. Both of his videos are linked in the description below. And the first one is a complete guide to water fasting. I mean, the guy gives details, what happens on a cellular level, the whole 9 yards. The second one is about the importance of taking salt in your water fast. He also talks about taking potassium citrate as well, which I haven't done yet. I may add that as well. But the reason for that is, by the way, I want to cover one more thing before I get into that. I have the first positive proof of something being healed since I started doing this. And who was it? Somebody told me he did today, as a matter of fact. It's usually a nitrate deficiency, I think he said. However, or nitrite, whatever, what niacin, maybe it's niacin he's talking about. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but for more than a year, I have had a tingling sensation, like a numbness in the second toe on my left foot. And sometimes when I fidget, I'll just flip my toe under my big toe, my second toe under my big toe. And, like people cracking knuckles or whatever. And I realized day before yesterday that is completely gone. It was completely gone after 6 days of fasting. And there's nothing there. And I had it for over a year. I was a little concerned about it because it seemed like it might be a case of neuropathy. But it's gone completely. And my toe feels great. I talked about the videos also. The lack of salt creates what's called hyponatremia. And some of the symptoms of hyponatremia is nausea with vomiting, fatigue, headache or confusion, cramps or spasms in the muscle, irritability and restlessness, and in severe cases can lead to seizure and coma. Along with that, hyponatremia can also bring hypotension, which is shown by dizziness or lightheadedness, fainting, blurred vision, fatigue, and lack of concentration. And I have had a couple of periods of lack of concentration over the last week. But when I watched this video, I was definitely going to add salt because I don't want to put myself into a coma. I started adding the salt yesterday, and I guess it took a little time for it to get into my system. And in case you all missed it yesterday, because it might have been, I think it was in the video where it was cut off. I started on Sunday of last week at 272 pounds, Sunday morning, even though my fast started 10 o'clock Saturday night, but then my weigh-in is in the morning. The best time to weigh yourself for consistency is in the morning after your first time going to the bathroom. And yesterday, my weight was, well, that's from the day 7, never mind. Yesterday, my weight was 255.6. That's a decrease of 16.6 pounds in 7 days. 1 week, 16.6 pounds. And if you consider the 6 pounds I lost the 2 weeks prior to that, just from going low carb to no carb, that makes my total loss for the 3 weeks 22.6 pounds. My blood pressure was 102/81, which seemed a little low to me. And my pulse was 87. I contributed that to the lack of salt. And surprisingly, I had a loose bowel movement last night and the night before last, after not having any for several days and not eating anything for an entire week. I think that's just my body cleaning out thoroughly what needs to be cleaned out. And as I comprehend it, many things can be corrected by that. Now, today, I started taking the salt, and when you watch that video, you'll see how you'll see the explanation of how the salt keeps the water level in your blood high. When you cut out the salt, the water in your blood is reduced, and your blood won't flow so well. But another reason for that is our cells, and this is much better explained in the Dorian Wilson video. Our cells take in different amounts of water. The amounts they take in is different, and the rate at which they absorb water is different as well. What the salt does, as I comprehend it, and I do highly recommend you go watch this video for a thorough explanation. As I comprehend it, the salt keeps the water out of the cells in a more regulated fashion, so that they only take in as much water as they really need. It's kind of a regulator for the absorption of water into the cell itself. And the lack of salt can cause cells to take in too much water and burst. We don't want to see that. Now, today my blood pressure was more normalized. It was 118/85 at 79 beats per minute. And my weight was the same as yesterday. I mean, exactly. And that's not surprising, since I added salt back into my my diet of water and salt. I added the salt to my water, and I expected some water retention for water weight to come back. It's not really water retention, it's water weight coming back. That's my water weight normalizing. And apparently I gained as much, exactly the same amount in water weight as I lost in fat. So I was actually pleased to see that my weight, even though I figured I was going to have more water weight, did not exceed what my weight was yesterday before I started taking the salt. So I expect tomorrow my weight to continue its downward trend. And I've been losing, I should have figured this out. I've been losing more than 2 pounds a day. It's more like more than 2.5 pounds per day. So I expect, let me see that. That's right. 257.4 on day 7, 255.6. And not quite 2 pounds there on day 8. So I expect that downward trend to continue. I have to say, the salt made a big, big difference in how I feel. I feel so much better today. I feel a little tired now because, I worked on my workbench in the garage once till the battery on my drill and saw ran down, and I charged it up and took a second round later. I did a workout, and most of the time usually when I do a workout at home, I'll do alternating curls, dumbbell curls, for 20 reps each arm with 35-pound dumbbells. And so I tried that today, and surprisingly, I made 20 reps for 2 sets. And then I did some hammer curls with 25 pounders for 2 sets. Those didn't make it to 20 though. So I was a little surprised to see that, and it was harder. The 35 pounds for 20 was more difficult, indicating that either I have lost some muscle or there's just not that. It might just be from a lack of glycogen stored in the muscle. One of the two, but I was a little bit weaker. Later, I tried a set of push-ups. I used to do 70 in a set of push-ups, but this time I only got 45 of those out. So I do get a little more tired by the end of the day, but I'm very excited with the results, with the what seemed to be neuropathy in my on my left toe, my second left toe being completely gone, and my weight continuing downward. I have to say I haven't been happier. I'm going to keep this up because it's only been 9 days. I mean, I'm on my 9th day. It'll be 9 days tonight at 10 o'clock. Even if I only lose 1 pound a day for the rest of this, that's still 31 more pounds. That would make a total of what? 16. I can't add very well right now. So that would be like 47, about 48 pounds altogether in 40 days. 48 pounds, 40. I expect it's going to be more like 50. I'm actually thinking, I'm figuring I'm going to make at least a 50-pound drop, and probably even a little bit more. May not be much more than that, because I really don't know what kind of rate my weight loss will slow to. But I mean, I kind of expect it to slow down some. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, no big deal. It's going to be, I'm still going to do very well on this, and my body will go through a transformation. What I'm really looking for is that spiritual event, which I expect to happen over 20 days. So, reported by most people, it was after quite a long fast before they experienced this spiritual thing. So that's my update for tonight. I appreciate you all joining me. I pray that you will have a good, God-blessed evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.